Good morning, everybody. We're just a couple of minutes after 11 o'clock. We're going to start. My name's Chris Harrington. I'm joined by me today is Jessica Simpson. Jessica and I will take you through our webinar, and I just wanted to say thank you for joining us. Some of the audience may already be familiar with the new hoppaGo proposition, and some of you may not. So over the next few slides, I'm going to provide you with an overview of the proposition, why it was designed, and some of the key features. Following my present of 5 or 10 minutes, Jessica will then give you a demonstration of the hoppaGo booking platform, and we'll leave some time at the end of the presentation for any questions you may have. Plus, we can always forward this presentation onto you afterwards, should you wish to share it with colleagues. So, without further ado, hoppaGo provides ground transportation solutions to the wider travel and hospitality industry. This includes travel agencies, online agencies, but also to airlines, cruise, rail businesses, and hotel and accommodation providers as well as some clients that are attraction providers, attraction companies. hoppaGo acts as an agent for just about 5,000 suppliers and transport providers in about 110 countries. And through this network, we provide a range of technology solutions, which we'll come on to in a minute. Originally, Hoppa provided transfers for leisure travelers from airport to resort or airport to hotel. The hoppaGo proposition now offers the travel market a much more comprehensive and tailored solution to suit the demands of the leisure and the business traveller. The hoppaGo platform provides a one-stop solution for all transport needs, making sure that you can search for the right transfer to complement the overall travel package, and we'll come on to that in a short while. So, in terms of technology, in terms of some of the drivers of the hoppaGo proposition, we do recognise that one technology solution doesn't necessarily suit all businesses. However, we do believe in this day and age, kind of digital transformation, that it is necessary to have a technology solution if it is going to be made easier to access the potential revenues available from transport services, and also to stay competitive in the travel market and hospitality market. So this is a piece around the drivers behind the technology, and just to say that the hoppaGo technology is free to install and also free to use. One of the other trends and challenges that we've identified in the marketplace, and the reasons for the hoppaGo proposition, is very much about the costs of acquiring new customers. Ground transport services may still be seen as an ancillary services. However, more and more now in the travel and hospitality businesses that we speak to, it's very apparent that driving revenue from transport services is now being considered as part of the core revenue generating strategies of a business. Particularly valuable as we start to see marketing and other associated costs within the business also rising. I think this trend and this challenge will be particularly evident to everybody that's customer facing. The demands of the customer are now greater than ever, with many customers now seeking personalised experiences when they travel. I'm a great believer that the cheapest transfer is not always the best transfer. The newlyweds on honeymoon will not want the same transport as the family on the holiday of a lifetime, or a group of friends on a value beach holiday. So it's imperative that we offer greater selection and availability of services, so that choice is available to cater for a wider range of requests from customers now. And I think the fourth trend and challenge that's very apparent within the industry at the moment is service and the impact of service. And we often talk about price being kind of a key aspect of the transfers that we select, but actually I would argue that in that service is hugely important, and maybe if not more so important than price. I also recognise that your customers probably don't see the brand of hoppaGo, they actually see your brand, and therefore delivering the service through your brand, it's very important for us at hoppaGo to make sure that we acknowledge that the service that is provided impacts your brand and your reputation. I'd love to say that everything goes as planned every single time, but that's just simply not true. There are many aspects of the journey outside of our control, and therefore when there are aspects that don't go to plan, our aim is always to be available to own and resolve the situations as they rise, and we'll give you another kind of insight into how we do that and how we deal with that in a few slides' time. So we talked about technology, just to touch on the different types of technology that you may see and you may use. We have 4 different types of technology solutions. The hoppaGo trade account is probably the simplest of all of our solutions. This allows a user to book online and to search and find the solution, find the transfer that they're looking for online, whereas the white label solution places the search and the booking process onto the business's own website, providing greater automation and data management. And again, is very simple and easy to set up. The trade account probably takes us about an hour to set up. The white label will probably take us a couple of hours to set up, where therefore the biggest use of our data and connection via an API integration allows us to deal at very much larger volumes, using larger volumes of data, and will take that little bit longer to set up, typically a couple of weeks to set up, and either can be an API integrated directly with your business or through one of our technology platform providers. So I don't really want to say any more on technology solutions at the moment, because each one is designed differently for the agents that we work with, the clients that we work with. What I will say a little bit more about, though, is our network solution. So the hoppaGo network provides an extensive choice of both shared and private vehicles for all types of travellers. The platform will transparently display the supplier of the service. So hoppaGo is not the supplier of the service. As I said earlier on, we have just over 5,000 suppliers on our platform, with an aim to get that up to about 15,000 suppliers by the end of Q2. I appreciate this slide says Q1, but it's Q2. So the proposition, as I said earlier, is now much more than a provider of airport transfer services. The network can now, or the suppliers on the network can now pick you up and drop you off from anywhere using the enhanced search functionality, which is ideal, really, this anywhere to anywhere service, when we're now planning excursions, local day trips, or even travel to the golf course or to the restaurant or the theatre. Please don't think of us just as an airport transfer service, but we can now pick you up from the airport, or pick you up from the hotel, or pick you up from a private villa and deliver you to a much wider range of points of interest. With the extended supplier network, there's also increased price competition. This is a real positive for yourselves as users of the platform. What it creates is it allows the suppliers to manage their own pricing. Therefore, if they want to increase the number of bookings that they take on board, they can do so by reducing the pricing. So in that respect, hoppaGo doesn't have any significant control over pricing. It's very much dealt with by the suppliers on the platform. And I think just one final thing to say on the network is that during Q2 we will be introducing supplier service scores, which will allocate based upon hoppaGo and customer feedback. So this will allow you to measure service alongside price. And therefore, if there is a difference in price and there is a difference in service, you can transparently see why you're paying maybe a little bit more for maybe a better service. So on to service solution. I said at the top of the conversation that service was very important to us, and I know it's important to you as well. It's vitally important to the customers, and therefore we have enhanced the service, and there's a number of things I'd like to bring to your attention. So contacting hoppaGo is simple and straightforward and can be done in several ways. You can send in any queries and requests to a relevant team within our contact center. Contact center is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And we've set up specific teams, separate teams that are there to deal with pre-travel queries, in-destination queries, and post-travel queries. The different types of queries quite often mean that we have to respond in different timeline, different time frames, and therefore there are different teams set up to address those. We also ensure that we stay in contact with the customer during their journey. As you'll see here, hoppaGo will send SMS messages to the customer prior to pickup to ensure that the customer has got the correct time and meeting locations. And in addition to this, hoppaGo provides contact numbers for the supplier in destination and for the hoppaGo contact center in case the customer has a need whilst in destination as part of their journey. So from me, that's kind of an overview. I'm now going to pass over and hand over to my colleague Jessica, who's going to demonstrate the hoppaGo booking platform for you. And Jessica will highlight some of the features that I've explained. And following the demonstration, we'll happily take your questions. If you want to note your questions down in the notepad, one of my other colleagues, Stacey, is monitoring for any questions coming in, so we'll be able to record and respond there. So if you can bear with me just while we switch over one moment. Jessica.
Perfect. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. So yes, as Chris said, I'm just going to give you a quick demonstration of an example search and book process and point out some key features along the way for you. So yes, here we are at the hoppaGo homepage. As you'll see, it's very easy to log in as it's right here in the middle of the screen. And I will just use some test credentials here on the left-hand side. So bear with me while we get logged in. And you just hit the login with Hopper username and password. It may just take a little bit longer as we're on the Wi-Fi in a meeting room today, but not too bad at all. There we go. So yes, you'll know that you have logged in correctly because you will see this nice Hopper Agents logo here in the corner, and you will also see your company name here where it currently says Test UK. So yes, straight away you have our search tool. So if we click in the pickup location box, you'll see that we're now starting to feed through some of our most popular destinations. So you've got the top airports here. You can click on the train symbol or on the anchor and see the top ports and train stations. That's just for some quick access, but equally you can just start typing your location. So I will do an example here of Civitavecchia port, and you'll see even before you finish typing the word, the different options start feeding through for you. So yes, in this example, I'm going to go for the port. That's got the anchor symbol for us. And then for the drop-off location, when we click in this box, it reminds you to enter the full address or the postcode to receive the most accurate pricing. So let's say the client is staying at the St. Regis Hotel. Yes, again, you're getting the different options feeding through there, and it's indeed the Rome one that I want on this occasion. Then we go over to date. Simply got the calendar here that you can go through the months. So let's say they want to be picked up from the port on the 12th of June. And then here is a key feature that I'd like to highlight to you. So because the transfer is starting at a port in this instance, the green button is over pickup time. So you are selecting the time that you would like the driver to meet your client. We appreciate that with cruises, they might get off the ship in the morning and their flight might not be until 8 p.m. or something a lot later. So they want to be picked up not in accordance to their flight details, but actually when they do disembark. However, if the journey does include an airport, then you also have the option to click over to flight departure time. Right, so I'm going to put in the pickup time, so let's say 10 a.m. And that's just reminding us that for shared shuttle bookings, we do have to include flight details. So we'll go continue. If you wished to add a return journey as well, that's very simple in this box. And then here you have got the passengers. So we indicate the ages that are classed as a child and an infant for you, and I will add one child just so we can see how that all works, and then you click on search. So it is working for us. Just as I said, meeting room Wi-Fi taking a little bit longer for us. But yes, as that wheel is spinning, you will see that all of our different partnering suppliers are feeding through for us. So we now have the total of 45 results for you to pick from. We don't want you sat there scrolling through 45 different options, so we have introduced these different filters for you. So you can select the vehicle type, so yes, a cruise, probably a more luxurious holiday, you might want to select executive car. And then with the suppliers' names, if you've had a particularly good experience with one of our suppliers, you're able just to find them again, select them, and then you'll see just their services left on the screen. So for here, we've now got 2 options to pick from. It confirms here for you that it's 1 suitcase and 1 holdall per person as standard. If your clients are going to need more than this, then you will have to request that, which I will demonstrate to you later. And it's always important to click on the vehicle information and cancellation policy, because we work with such a large number of suppliers, they can have varying policies. So always good just to have a read through of this before you decide to go ahead and make that booking for your client. But no, I'm happy with that. I can cancel free of charge outside of 48 hours, apart from that £1 per person. So that's not too bad at all. So I'm going to click on book now, and it will then take us through to this summary page, again showing you your luggage that's included. I included the child on this example because I wanted to show you that we've added on the booster seat there for you automatically. You do have the option to hit the minus button and remove it if you know the client's bringing their own seat, or there's another sort of situation, but nice that it feeds through there. And in this case, the supplier is also showing us that they can offer bottled water, so if you wanted to include 2 of those for the journey, then that's nice and easy. Just to point out here, a lot of our suppliers will also add in this section the cost of an additional suitcase. This isn't the case here, so you'd have to request it after post booking in this instance. So I'll show you how to do that very shortly. So yes, that's the extras dealt with. So then you can click on continue. And then we get taken to the page where we have to enter the customer details. And so I'll try and run through this quite quickly, but just pointing out anything of interest to you. So the client email address or the agent. So if you're happy for the e-ticket to go straight to the client, then you can enter their details here. Or if you prefer to collect all of their paperwork documents and send it together later on, then that's absolutely fine as well. So I'll just enter my address here as an example. And then, yes, title, self-explanatory, name. And then with the mobile numbers, we have the different international flags to help you with the correct code. And yes, when you start entering a number, you will then see that when you click out, it shows you here that the number is valid. We added in this additional check for you because we send out those free SMS reminders telling your client the time and place of their pickup. So in the past, we had a few of these messages not getting through, just through to typos or other errors. So that's just a nice check for you there. And then this reference number field is simply if you want to book, link this booking to another booking on your system. If you wanted to put the agent's name who made the booking so that you can track that your side, it's free for you to use as you wish and as is helpful for you. And then with this box, if it's ticked, the e-ticket gets sent straight away. If you don't want that, simply untick the box. So I'll click on continue now. And it then is just confirming the drop-off point for us. So as we selected the hotel on that very first screen, that address has now come through here. If you're happy that's all correct, then you click on continue again. Now, because we've selected a port for the pickup, it's asking for the dock berth gate number if you have that information at the time. And also where it says cruise line, it would be very useful to enter the ship name as well. So I'll just, for example, if you were to do Royal Caribbean, and then you would do, let's think of an example, Voyager of the Seas, and then that is enough information for our supplier to then find your client. So we then hit confirm, pick up and continue. And this is where it confirms the booking for us. So straight away we have the booking reference provided. This page again is just a summary for you, the different costs, the route. But straight away, you can go into manage my trip. And then when it loads for me, I can show you the different things you can do here. So the e-ticket, even though that will have been emailed to you, you can open it up again. And good for us to show you an example this morning. So you'll see you've got the booking reference again, you've got the passenger details, the vehicle details, scheduled pickup time. But what I'd really like to point out this morning is this box here. So this has the arrival instructions for your client. So it's really important that they read this before their transfer. So it's telling them how to meet the driver. So in this case, our rep will be waiting for you right after the baggage claim outside the ship, holding a signboard displaying your name. So that's, lovely and clear. And they've got an emergency line there if there's any issues. What's also good is that we're highlighting that if they are likely to be delayed or they have any of that information, to let us know as soon as they can. With the resort office telephone number, Some people get concerned that this is a UK number. It's actually a virtual number, so it goes through to our local supplier first of all. If for any reason they cannot reach your call or the call of your client, it then gets transferred over to our 24/7 help team. So there'll always be somebody to advise your clients in resort. So yes, let me come out of that. You'll see that you can print it or email it as required. And then on this page as well, you can make amendments and cancellations. But let me show you how you get back to this page from the home page. If you were to log in, say, a week after, when you were then aware of a modification you had to make. So let's just go to the home page by clicking here. That should work for me. Yeah, that's right. And then if you go over hello, you can click on view, amend, cancel a booking. Then you put in the booking reference there, find my journey. And if it behaves, we'll end up on the page we've just done. I'll just hold my breath for a second. There we go. So you'll see that's nice and easy. So if you now needed to cancel it, you'd hit this button, and it's showing you that it's that free of charge cancellation at the moment. If you need to make amendments, you hit amend trip. You then have the different booking details that you can go in and edit. So let's say the mobile number has changed, then you can go in, change that. Additionally, if you then needed to, oh no, they don't want to pay, you can zero that down. And then what's key is that we then select the amend trip again at the bottom of the page. So that's all just getting processed for you now. And we should get a green banner. Oh no, not yet. I'm ahead of the game. Here we go. So it's showing the refund due because of the water. So we select update. Are we sure? Yes, we are. And then we should get a new page with a banner showing us that the amendments have been made. If it hurries up a little bit for us. There we go. So it says your changes were successful. So that's nice and simple. I also appreciate you might not always have the booking reference at hand. So there's a nice little tool on here. You can just go to reporting. And then it gives you a few search fields and you can search for the booking by entering the client's name, the travel date, the booking date, and it would then bring up the different bookings for you. So let's see if this works for today for us. So let's say booking date, search. It might be a little bit too immediate, but let's see. And yeah, there we go. Here's our booking here. So then you can go in, you can go back to the Manage My Trip page, you can access the e-ticket again, or you can even access the invoice. So that's a handy section of the website too. And then lastly, and I will stop chatting away, I promise, just show you how to access the contact portal, which Chris was telling you about earlier. So if you scroll to the very bottom, click on Contact Hopper. This then opens up the window straight away for you, and you have all of the different topics, reasons for contact, and then you just select one of those. It's a simple online form for you to fill out. You can attach documents. And then once you've submitted it, you will receive a ticket number, and then over time, using this tool, you can track all of your tickets and their different statuses as well. So Yes, that is a very quick run through of the main search and booking features, but hopefully gives you a nice idea of how everything works.
Thank you, Jessica. I just wanted to call upon Stacey. Stacey, has there been any questions while Jessica and I have been talking that we can talk about?
Hi, yes, there's one here. It says, are the prices net prices?
Yeah, good question. When we initially set up the account, we can have that conversation. We can include commission in the pricing, and therefore the agent would then reclaim that commission, or indeed we can set up prices on a net basis, and the agent can add their own commission to it. So yes, we can work on net, and yes, we can work on gross, depending upon your requirements.
Okay, great. So far, there haven't been any other questions. Is there anyone else who would like to ask anything? No, nothing else.
No.
Oh, there we go. There's one
Okay,
more.
just thank you for joining us today.
Sorry,
Oh,
Chris.
beg your pardon. Okay.
Yeah, there's one more question. How do we pay?
Again, when we have that conversation, when we set up, we can set up either a credit account, credit terms, or if there is a preference to pay on booking, that can also be done in a variety of different ways. So payment on booking, or we can set up a credit account, in which case we would send an invoice, a statement and an invoice on a either weekly, fortnightly or monthly basis. So again, happy to have that conversation with each agent. I think just to reiterate, or just to mention, if there is anybody that wants to get in touch with us after this webinar, probably the easiest email address to remember in terms of getting in touch with us, if you use the email address sales@hoppa.com, and you send any questions there, or you send any queries. If you would like to have a conversation in a bit more detail, myself, Jessica, or James, or Mandy, we would be happy to do so. Anybody from the sales team, but we can pick up any emails that go to sales@hoppa.com.